Hello everyone. So in our last video we were locally running the Spring Boot application. Okay, we are in the tutorial to deploy a Spring Boot Java app to Kubernetes on Google Kubernetes engine. And in that tutorial, in that code lab tutorial, we were at step number 4. We finished the step number 4. We were seeing this screen. Now let us move on to step number 5. So what is step number 5 saying is, it is about package the Java app as a Docker container. So what you need to do is you need to prepare your application that you're running. So you're running this application, right? This application you're running, right? This application you have to prepare to be run on Kubernetes. The first step to do that is to define the container and its contents. Okay. So to do that, let's go one by one. The first step is create the jar deployable for the app. That is, create the jar out of the project. Okay, so I have realized in my last session that uh, that you were not able to maybe see the Google shell commands properly, so I'm going to zoom it in a little bit, and I'm going to open a new tab here. Or let's not confuse, let's use the same tab. The Spring Boot application is already running, right? To stop it, I'm just going to type Control C. Okay, the application has stopped running. See, let us run the URL. If you run the URL, you are not able to connect to the server because I typed Control C. Okay, so I am in this GS Spring Boot complete package, and what it is asking me to do is to package the application, or to create the jar of the Java application. So I'm just going to Control V here. Okay, whatever the command they have given me, I'm just going to type in here. I know that Maven package is going to create a jar file for me. Okay, see, it has created this jar file inside target folder, Spring Boot complete 0.0.1 snapshot.jar, right? It has created this jar for me. Let us see what's the next step. Second step is to enable the artifact registry API to store the container image that you will create. So they have given concise steps. I wanna explain it a little bit. Artifact registry is what? Artifact registry is a place where you can store all these artifacts, all the jar files, or even the images, anything you can store. And this is a Google Cloud offering. Okay, what they are trying to say is that we need to enable the artifact registry API. Okay, so there is an API which allows you to do things with the artifact registry, and they are saying enable this artifact registry API, and to do that you just have to run this command. Okay, let us not dwell a lot on the commands. We have the commands available to us. Let us understand the concept. What are these commands trying to do? Okay, so I'm going to run this. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it says operation, this thing finished successfully. So I ran this command, I ran the step 2 successfully. What I did is I enabled the artifact registry API. So all the services on Google Cloud need to be enabled always. So artifact registry API I have enabled for my project. Let me just do a clear screen because there's too much of information there. Third step is to create a new Docker repository if one doesn't exist. You must create a repository before you can push any images to it. So I am sure you guys understand the Docker concept. Um, it includes a Docker repository where you are going to push your images. So this command here on step number 3, it is going to create the Docker repository. What is the location of the Docker repository? It is US Central. Region is US Central 1. Okay, so gcloud artifacts repositories create code lab repo. So it is going to create a repo with name code lab repo, okay? And then repository format is equal to docker. It's a docker repo, and the location of this repo is US Central 1. So location means region, okay? So let us run this command here, just creating the docker repo, okay? So it has created this repo. It is waiting for the operation. Let us wait. So it is saying created repository code lab repo. You could have changed the name, but I'm not going to go away from what a code lab is suggesting, and that's why I'm not doing it, okay? Now step number 4 is your image is going to be of the format this, okay? Location, that is the region US Central 1, docker.pkg.dev, then the project ID, which is dev.shg, then the repository, that is code lab repo, and then the image name. For example, if you created the repository in location US Central 1 named code lab repo, if you want to name your image hello java v1, the image will be this one, okay? Project ID is what? Project ID is dev.shg, this one, dev.shg. This is the project name in reality, dev.shg. This is the project ID, okay? Remember that, please. But in step number 4, it is not asking us to do anything, okay? Now let's go to step number 5. Use gib to create the container image and push it to artifact registry, okay? So using gib, we are going to create the container image and push it to the registry. I'm going to run this command first. Let us do that. And the next command is this one. I need to take it in the notepad and make few changes here, okay? What's the change? The change is just in the actually there is no change. I can just run it right away. Let's try running it like it is, see what happens. Okay, it is pushing to the repository now, this command as it is ran, okay? So what happens is, I think when you do $Google Cloud project, it picks up your Google Cloud project that you're referring to in the Cloud Shell, right? And that's why I didn't have to replace it by anything else, okay? So what is this command going to do is, it is going to create an image and push it onto the artifactory with this image name under this project, okay? Let us see. Yeah, this thing has finished. Let us move on to next step. Step number 6 is, you should be able to see the container image listed in the console by navigating to artifact registry images page in the cloud console. You now have a project-wide Docker image available which Kubernetes can access and orchestrate, as you will see in few minutes. So it is asking me to just go to this link. Let us go to the link. It is the artifact registry, okay? Please note, I am still seeing the project as dev.shg, okay? See, it has created, let me close this one. It has created a repo name code lab repo, I'm going inside it, and it has created a Docker image with name Hello Java. See, this icon here is telling me that this is a Docker image, right? I'm going to scroll into it. This is the hash of the Docker image. Okay, so I have finished step number 6 too, 6 as well. Let us go on to step number 7, which is optional. After completion, it will take some time to download and extract everything. Test the image with the following command, which will run a Docker container as a daemon on port 8080 from your newly created container image. If you run into permission issues, run gcloud auth config docker us central 1. Okay, just run this first. It's trying to say if you're running into permission issues. What it is trying to do is, it is authorizing Docker to be run. Okay, so let us, just to be safe, let us run this command. And once I run this command, it is telling me adding credentials for this, and gcloud credential helpers already registered correctly. So I didn't have to run the command, but I still did, which was not a loss. Then after that, we are trying to do is, we will run the Docker container. Okay, this is the command they are giving us. So this is the usual Docker run command. Okay, if you have worked on Docker desktop, you would have run a Docker container like this only. What it is doing is, it's going to run the Docker container which is running on this port, at this port only. This is the usual Docker command. Okay, and this is the image name or the container name. Okay, so let us run this command as it is. Okay, it's running. It is pulling the image from artifact registry that we had just seen. It's pulling that image, you can see. And then it's starting the service. See, the same messages are coming up about the beans. So the application must have started nicely. These are all the beans that it is listing. See, Tomcat started on port 8080. So this Docker container, using Docker container also, we are exposing the application at port 8080, and the application has started, it is saying. Let us see what's the next step. I'm sure it's asking to open the browser. Next step is step number 8. Take advantage of the web preview feature of Cloud Shell. So let's do that. Web preview on port 8080. Okay, we can see the same message. So we have containerized the application. When we were seeing this message, we were running the application directly as a Spring Boot app. But now we have containerized the application, created an image of it, containerized the application, pushed the image to the Google Cloud Artifact Registry. From that artifact registry, we have downloaded the image and then started it. We are starting this application as a container. Okay. Step number 9. You should see the default page in the new tab. After you verify the app is running locally in a Docker container, you can stop the running container by pressing Ctrl C. Okay, so we have verified the application is running fine. I can just press Ctrl C. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me clear the screen. Go back here. So in this video, we have finished step 5 of packaging the Java app as a Docker container. We will move on to step number 6, which is creating your cluster, in the next video.